Now, today cartoon news, Hailey on it could be officially cancelled. Also, the voice actor of Chris from Total Drama Island gives his reason why he was fired of that part. And also, the creator of Butch Harmon, who created Danny Phantom, wants to cast the actor who plays Spider-Man on his own movie, live action Danny Phantom, and plus so much more. Now, this is the first time on my channel. My name is Retro. I like to talk about animation, not just animation. I like to do reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, you will like how this is going. It really helps to like, comment, and subscribe. Because one of those things really help my channel become bigger and better. And let's face it, I am a small channel. Every little thing you do really helps my channel to be bigger. But besides that, let's start the first news. Now, our first segment will be a long one because it's two segments and one is they're both connected. So take a little brief here. But basically, I was looking on Tuhu. They're reporting that Haley's on it will be canceled after one season, and the voice actors. I think it was the voice actors reported said, "Oh no, we're not canceled or renewed. We just on hold." She doesn't know why. In fact, she actually talked to one of the creators of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. And in fact, they say the same thing. They're not even renewed or canceled. They're just waiting to see what happens. This is what people mean they actually canceled because you just don't know you have another season. But nobody knows why. But it's honestly, if you do your homework and actually has a bigger view of what's actually going on in the company, Pacific Disney, by Iger, if you don't know who that is, that's basically the CEO of Disney, the guy who runs everything, every decision he makes affect Disney. And right now, he is sort of in trouble because there is an opening in the board members. That small opening, that simple chair, can change everything because Bell and Teller, a bank company, wants that chair. That's a bank company who helps Disney finance a lot of things. They also have part of the stock. But they want that chair so they can fire Bob Iger and change everything what's going on because they only focus on profit. This is the reason why they sort of stopped renewing shows because in the last 2 more weeks, a week or two, the voting starts. Whoever wins of this sort of fight gets to get their job or get fired. So yeah, this is the reason why these two shows are on hold. Nobody knows they're gonna have a second season or no, because depends who will be in charge. Sees the paperwork. If the shows are doing lousy, what do I have? Specifically, Penn Teller. They see if they're not doing so well, they're more obvious just to cancel just because. But this is the second news come up with Penn Teller because in the same group, Penn Teller has a person that don't remember his name right now. They call him Mr. M. Mr. M used to work in Disney, specifically Marvel TV. His work goes to Daredevil, all the Netflix shows are Marvel on that one, and also all the other shows of Hulu of Marvel like The Runaways, Cloak and Dagger, and also the Marvel Shield TV series. Well, he's now in Penn and Teller and now taking vengeance of them if he actually wins the chair of the chairman. That means the shows you love probably be canceled because of him, because he's the one who has the power if he given back his original job. But until this time, before he got fired his original job, he actually greenlighted multiple new shows just to piss off Bob Iger. Some of you do recognize, like Modoc, that only lasted one season. Hit Monkey, they only have one season and renew a second season because nobody expected it to be good. And another season, another show called Dazzle and Tiger that is supposed to be two different shows, but they united as one because they thought it was a good idea. Especially what happened to Tiger because she actually cameoed of the movie Chip and Dale live action movie that the fans beloved. They loved that cameo so much. Give it a second win to greenlight and continue what they're doing. And in fact, right now they posted the first image of Dazzling Tiger. yeah, this superhero show, we honestly don't know much, but that's the first image you see right now. It looks amazing. I feel this could be another surprise set by Mr. M. Of course, he got fired. Of course, the other show will be four shows. That will be Howard the Duck. Basically, their version of Donald Duck, but this version is a more downgraded alcoholic detective and decided to cancel it. These, that's why I assume, in fact, all the shows I mentioned by Hulu were at some point canceled, but the last minute we can't stop it because they're almost done. So let's continue. So it's sort of surprising Dazzle and Tiger got a second win, and the new image looks great. Of course, depends if it could still continue on. Depends on Mr. Man. Mr. M actually wins and gets the chair. Everything I told you could be easily changed or not. We just honestly don't know. But what do you think? You excited of the new show of Marvel from Hulu or not? Or you the person who panicking of Hailey on it and Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur if they don't get renewed? What's your opinion? How you feel the situation right now? Now let's talk about the next segment. Now, something like for right now, that is a fan who tagged that saying you have a cameo by Luffy in the show of Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. And you see the little cameo just briefly. Yeah, it's sort of Luffy, but sort of changed because of legal reasons, but you still recognizing that actually is Luffy. It's something if you want to watch the first couple episodes, watch around the background, you probably see the cameo of Luffy, just for fun for this segment. Let's talk about the next segment. Disgusting Films are reporting that Haspin Hotel is renewed season 2. Plus, it could basically take a little bit more longer. It explains why VC Pop started season 2 on the same day they end season 1. Because it'll take a little bit longer than unusual. So, yeah, just wait a couple, maybe another year or two, they actually finish it done. But besides that, how you felt about the first season? Right now, I not have the chance to see the first season, but I heard mixed emotions that they actually like it, they actually hate it. What do you feel about season 1 of Haspin Hotel? Now I got nothing else to say to the next segment. Now, this is kind of hilarious, but at the same time a little bit wrong. That you see the show Digital Circus. Remember that pilot is so successful, passing 250 million views the first pilot. Well, so successful, they actually start to steal her IP, and you don't understand. Some of you just scratching your head. What do you mean steal the IP? Well, there is some places are doing plays about Digital Circus without the permission of Goose or the permission of Glitch Productions. They want who own the rights. They're not allowed to actually sign any paperwork till the show is done. So yeah, someone leaked a TikTok video showing the play. You have basically all the characters doing their own thing in the show. You can find it on Twitter or on TikTok. There's sort of image there. You can see how odd it is. I mean, I wasn't expecting this popularity to be that big. In fact, you know you're that popular. Even you did the first pilot, they are ripping off your IP while you're on permission. It's just sort of crazy how popular this show really is. In fact, it's not the show even started yet. That's just mind blowing. That you have to clap about the creator how influenced her pilot really was. But other than that, let's talk about the next news. Now, this segment is sort of an update of the day the Earth blew up by Looney Tunes. One of the voice actors started responding a question asking when it could be released. They say fall, but what he heard would be on November. So yeah, you have the month now of the day the Earth blew up by Looney Tunes. So just set your calendar and hope the movie be any good. That's sort of the update for this sort of segment. Let's continue to the next segment. Now, Cartoon Empire is reporting the new series slash movie of Megabyte will be released on March 1st. If you've seen the trailer, everybody groaned because it's looking really bad. I mean, I can't judge it, but you see the new trailer of Megamind, that point you realize this franchise is dead because the animation, the story, even that they don't bring Will Ferrell, the original voice actor of Megamind, didn't do the movie or the show. That's a lot of downgrades, especially with the animation. In fact, there is a post about a fan who said of the 2000 animation TV shows from DreamWorks to 2010 and 2020s to show the difference of quality of animation. We just don't know why they dropped the ball, because every time they do a show was actually pretty good. Animation wise, story wise is up to you if the show was good or not. But for some reason they sort of stopped caring actually giving money to the TV show side of DreamWorks. It's sort of affecting their image, and the reason why they doing this, we just don't understand. I mean, of course, they probably did Megamind because how a cult classic it was. They thought it would be easy win to actually just remake or make a TV series on the network of Peacock. The only problem is, it's sort of hard to care if you don't care. And that's the major problem of this brand new franchise of Megamind, because the original movie was a great film. It was smart, it was clever, it was for everyone. And this one just focused for little kids. And nothing wrong with that, but the movie was a flop. And the reason why it came back is because the fans devoted it. Fans memeing to death to recognize how smart and clever the movie really was. And I'm sort of disappointed, and then DreamWorks never capitalized that. They realized they could easily be the first kind of adult show, or at least a continue the same storytelling level of the original, but they didn't. They just dropped the ball because they think it would be an easy win. And unfortunately, it was, especially you have a sidekick with Megamind that it feels just meant for the kids only sort of scenario. That yet I understand why they do it, but yet I think it's one of the biggest mistakes they actually did of this brand new franchise. They really tried to sell you. And also think about this. In the old fans, if you please them, most of them are adults who have jobs who probably will pay Peacock to watch the series, but you don't. And this is the reason why a lot of people point out, yeah, they basically screwed themselves over while actually really thinking about it, because you have a dedicated fan base willing to pay Peacock. So yeah, if you don't know what Peacock is, it's sort of another streaming service that is probably the lowest of all streamer services. So it's sort of obvious, if they treat it with respect, people will actually pay attention and actually watch it. But once again, that's just my opinion. It was a Cartoon Empire sort of reporting. I just reinterpreted my own way to explain the situation. But besides that, let's go to the next segment. Now, this segment I'm very excited. This is from straight for Titmouse. If you don't know who Titmouse is one of those animated studios. They usually focus on action or dark humor or dark comedy. But every time they do a good action show, they really deliver. They never fail. Usually it depends on the writer, but the animation is just good. Now they're reporting they're making a show called Jimmy Chow versus the Underworld. Basically, the whole new show they're making is basically this a character. She's sort of hidden in the world, specifically on Texas, trying not to get anyone's attention because she has basically magical powers, but so powerful that the Underworld, the devil, wants her. So he sent his minions to attack her and take her power. That's sort of the pitch of this new show. And the first image of this show looks tight. In fact, it kind of reminds me of Titan from Getting Kanagashi cult classic, that he is a giant robot of a robot. You've seen the show, you get what I'm talking about. You feel that sort of kind of Giddy art style, and no, Giddy is not working on it, but using sort of his art style, that sort of unique straight lines kind of image that help to do more better action scenes. And yet this image just sold me because it looks great. So I'm super hyped, hoping it goes to Adult Swim or Cartoon Network, because it does feel very well made. I mean, of course, it is Titmouse, so you don't expect less. But other than that, are you excited this new animated show from Titmouse? Yes and no? Tell me but down below. Now let's talk about the next segment. Now, Hollywood handle are reporting that Butch Hartman kind of wants Tom Holland from the actor who plays Spider-Man to play Danny Phantom. That sounds sort of crazy, but you don't know who actually is Butch Hartman. He is the creator of Danny Phantom, and it says a lot if you want Tom Holland to play as Danny Phantom, because it's one of the things that means he's still doing Danny Phantom behind the scenes, or at least coaching the new team who doing the animated live action movie. But it's one of those choices could be possible. Then Tom Holland would be the right person to play the character. But once more, that is the creator talking. We don't know he is trying to get Tom Holland or Tom Holland actually wants to play as Danny Phantom. The fact how you feel that Tom Holland will play Danny Phantom, you feel it's the right decision or not? Because some of the people who comment on that article did say they're basically 50-50. Some like the idea of Tom Holland being Danny Phantom. Other things he's too old or not the right actor to play it as Danny Phantom. Because Danny Phantom is kind of inspired by Spider-Man, but just ghostly powers. But what's more, it's almost that you feel he is the right actor for the right part. Tell me down below. Let me know. Honestly, I got nothing else to say. Just talk about the next segment. Now, our next news is a little grim, but I'm trying to straight to the point. You've never heard a voice actor called Christian Potentia. If you don't know who he is, but you do know his work, it's the same guy who voiced Chris from Total Drama Island. If you don't remember the new series that came out, he stopped playing it. That character, he also was fired. We didn't know why he was fired till right now because Chris was sort of invited to a podcast. And this podcast is probably 3 hours long, but you want full the detail. There's another YouTuber sort of broke down everything went to that podcast, explained why he was fired and the reason why he stopped playing Chris and why he sort of stopped working in general. But I'm just gonna summarize two things on that video. If you want to see the full video, go to Rodan something. I showed the image here. You see that image? That's the video I'm recommending you to watch all of it. That actually explains why Christian Potentia sort of left. Not a reason, but I give you the two reasons that you want to know why he left. One, he was harassed by another voice actor, ruining his own career. And two, he was fired because he wanted to be fired because all the problems he had in the background. That's all the detail I will give you because it's very delicate and I don't want to ruin any potential he has to clear his name. I highly recommend watch that video because it goes in depth. Or if you want to go watch the podcast, but I recommend watch first the video what I'm showing right now from the screen. It's completely worth watching if you're curious what went down exactly. Now let's talk about the next segment. Now, IGN reporting that SpongeBob Sweet Victory will show up in the Super Bowl. That's sort of big because last time the Super Bowl tried to put SpongeBob version of Sweet Victory is when the creator died a few weeks ago, but the last minute they sort of cut it away, decided to not show it. For some apparent reason that was sort of confusing and pissed off a lot of fans. But they decide to sort of fix it right now, decide to give Sweet Victory, but the CGI version of this version of the Super Bowl. It's sort of, I'm sorry, forgiveness, how they sort of decide not to show it. But I don't know, that is up to you. You feel this sort of, I'm sorry response a good thing or bad thing. Honestly, I don't know how to feel, but at least better right now than never. In other words, at least that's how I feel. But I don't know you. What's your opinion? Now let's talk about the next segment. Now, Cartoon Brew is reporting that Woody Woodpecker We Going Camping is basically a sequel to the original Woody Woodpecker live action movie. This sequel will come out on Netflix on April the 12th. And not just me, everybody's just scratching their heads. Why this exists? I mean, if you don't know, sometimes company do movies specifically in Pacific countries, they actually adore that sort of IP. This is the reason why the first one was made, but it was made really fast, really cheap. It also very disturbing because Woody Woodpecker just done so fast in the animation looks sort of disturbing. Like they didn't have to chance to fix all the little flaws of the animation. And it seemed they're doing the same thing on the sequel, but this time they can show it on Netflix so they can watch all the terrifying image you can find of Woody Woodpecker. Because Woody Woodpecker, this version, the live action film, feels like a horror film. Or at least, I want to understand, people did talk about the first movie because it was really bad made, and this sequel seems the same thing, but be straight to Netflix. In fact, do you even care, or you actually disturbed they actually made a sequel to continue this sort of horror franchise, but it's not a horror franchise, the PG family film, but you watch the film, you just, no, this is a horror film, a really bad horror film by accident, but it's sort of good because all the memes that come out of this terrible movie could be more today if you love the memes of Woody Woodpecker, at least the live action memes ones. But besides that, what's your opinion? How you felt this movie had a sequel? Tell me down below, let me know. Let's talk about the next segment. Now, this segment is all people who love to save their DVDs for your own favorite show. Well, unfortunately, Beetlejuice the animated series, they run it on a print. They only have a limited time of the original series on DVD. This is sort of reported online by a fan who actually shows, yeah, we run it on a print, so buy fast the ones who want their own Beetlejuice anime series on your own hands. It's the last chance you have to actually get the original running outwards. That's sort of sad, but at the same time, you get it. Time is changing. That question, if you are the person who are scared this show to be sort of dead because they don't have any more copies to share, or you just don't care, you okay, the media is dying of DVDs, you probably find it on streaming some later or somehow. But besides that, let's talk about the next segment. Now, our next couple of segments should be indies, and the first indie is from Pan Pizza. If you may heard his name, is because how well known or infamous he really is in the cartoon community. Right now, he's attempting to do a cartoon pilot called RL Loki. That basically the plot synopsis of this pilot is basically sort of like JoJo with fighting, but replaced with spiritual creatures who is part of you. You actually are fighting basically sort of IP trying to keep itself irrelevant, continue fighting for each different IP to actually be realized to be a true character, in other words. That's sort of the pitch of this sort of show in a way. For right now, he's looking for a voice cast specific characters in the pilot. If you want to try out, go to his Twitter account and look at all the documents what you need to actually play some of the parts to be prepared to bestly perform in the pilot. Now let's talk about the next pilot of this segment. Now this another voice casting call out of Alice and the Black Island that posted this pilot is all about sort of kind of get a sort of 80s classic sort of animation, but that's all we know stuff about Alice and that's it. For right now, they also looking for voice cast whoever want to play a sort of part on this pilot. You find all the information on Twitter, just put Alice and the Black Island. All that is up to you how you feel about this sort of new information if you're looking for a job for voice acting. Now let's talk about the next indie project. Now our next indie project called Port C. We don't know much information about this project, but the first trailer will come out next month. But what I see is sort of kind of chibi, sort of well made in the sea. It seems that it has a sort of creature looking at the kids, hunting them down, but it's all about them just sort of in the beach. At least that's what I can see of some of the leaked images they show in the small 10-minute video they show. But it seems very confident. Hopefully the trailer reveals so much more about the Port C project. but it will come out next month. Please just watch the trailer and support it because we must support our indie brethren and sisters who do animated projects because the stronger we are, the better we do our own projects, the dreams we want to make of animation. Other than that, let's talk about the final indie project for the day. Now, this indie project was a surprise. I mean, I talked about there's some of them are just really good, but the origins, the indie animation project, the trailer by itself is sort of mind blowing because how good fluent the animation really is. And this is on YouTube. This is basically free. Just watch the trailer. They have multiple different languages. For right now, they have Spanish, English, and I think the original language Korean. I'm not 100% sure. Please comment down below. But watch the trailer and be hyped when it finally comes out. But the trailer sold me. I will review this first episode or pilot when it actually come out because damn, it looks good. And it's one of those could be an indie darling of probably this year. I'm not sure when it's coming out. It's just preparing you when it actually coming out. This is basically a teaser creator. It'll just look fantastic. Of course, before I end this whole segment, do I miss any cartoon news you believe deserve to be talked about of this video? Tell me down below, let me know, and notify the community what cartoon news that I missed to be released or where there is more indie project in the future. Other than that, thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and have a wonderful day. Bye.